the San Jose Sharks have found themselves in a rather precarious position. And now all eyes are starting to look towards management instead of just the team players. And rightfully so. I mean, we've all been questioning Warsofsky for a while now. We've all been really frustrated with him for a while. I really hate his snarky answers that he gives to media, the I know better than everyone else, just watch. I really don't like that. I actually saw a bunch of people asking, like, Sheng Peng to be like, why is no one asking about Regenda? But everyone knows that even if Sheng were to ask about Regenda, he would just give some snarky answer that's like, I know what I'm doing, I know best, trust me. And that's honestly worn really, really thin with a lot of us. And this dislike or frustration with Warsofsky is not new at all. But now it feels like a lot of eyes have also started to look at Mike Grier. And I know a lot of us, myself included, were pretty frustrated with what happened at the trade deadline. Mike Grier came out, made this whole show of making a statement saying that the team wanted to make a statement during the deadline, and then they did absolutely nothing. And between the lack of action and bad contracts made by Grier, people are starting to question their spot on the team for next year, if they even are still part of the team next year. You guys know how I feel about the Dellandrea contract. That's ridiculous. But let's jump into last night's performance because it brings me to a perfect contract that I absolutely hate. And that would be Orlov's contract. I don't know how, linked into social media you guys are, but there's a podcast called What Chaos. Great hockey podcast. I really recommend them. I like them. And they do a really good job, with representation and presenting the sport to people. I really like them. But they put out basically a full minute highlight reel of Orlov being the worst defenseman in the league. I wouldn't necessarily worst defenseman, but he's definitely not a good one. And Warsofsky, he loves Klingberg for some reason. He, came out and was like, yeah, Klingberg gets shots through. And I was baffled by that because if he means by shots through, then through defense to the net, then yes, he definitely lets shots through. But his offense production does not make him worth it in the slightest, especially considering the fact he can't even keep the puck in the offensive zone. And Orlov is an absolute disaster. He is slow. He does not read plays well and has so frequently lacked defensively, resulting in a goal. And also, what's really, really frustrating about this is, for whatever reason that people cannot understand, Warsofsky really seems to dislike Shakir Mukhamadullin. And last night, again, absolute freaking disaster of a game. Oh my god. Horrible, horrible game. At least we got Regenda in. But at what cost? Was it really worth it? Was it worth it to shuffle the lines? Because this is another thing that's been really, really infuriating with Warsofsky. The way he just panics and shuffles lines. That's not how you win games. You don't substitute someone in the lineup every other game. That's not how good coaches coach, and that's not how teams win games. And for whatever reason, he really just doesn't seem to like Mukhamadullin. But of course, Mukhamadullin got our one goal last night. So he's really valuable, and he has a really high ceiling. He's faced some speed bumps along the way, with injuries and stuff like that. He hasn't had a very linear path, but he's starting to get there, and not playing him is doing him zero favors, and it's doing the rest of the team no favors either, because we keep playing these old guys who are slowing down our young guys, and that's not fair to them. It's not fair to their development. And what scares me is the fact that Mukhamadullin is a restricted free agent. And we only have 2 defensemen on contract right now, and that's Orlov and Sam Dickinson. But it scares me because I think if Warsofsky's coach, Mukhamadulin's gone. And that's scary. He's an important factor of this team. He's important for the future of this team. I don't want to see him go. I want to do better by him. And that has to start with Warsofsky. and then, of course, Grier as well. Because we can't risk losing a player like Mukhamadullin. It's just, he's too valuable, especially considering the state of our defense. Now, let's focus on some good things, and this actually brings me to a great point where I think everyone on the Sharks roster, and especially Warsofsky, needs to watch University of Denver play. Because these guys, my king, Eric Polkamp, of course, he lives to see another day of college hockey, but we'll know by the end of today if he won Hobie Baker. I think he's got a pretty good chance. And tomorrow we'll know if he won the Frozen Four, because he moved on to the final last night. And Denver put on an absolute defensive masterclass last night. And Warsofsky needs to take a good look at Denver's head coach, David Carl, because that guy is calm through and through. Even when Denver was down in the game, even when they were down 3-2 with only a couple of minutes left in the game, they never once showed any sign of panic at all. And that's why they won this game. Because they maintained a level head. They don't take stupid penalties. They took, the penalty they did take was kind of dumb. But one penalty the whole game. They're incredibly disciplined and incredibly physical. And the type of hockey they play is the type of hockey that the Sharks need to adapt to and need to add elements of to. The entire game, these guys were getting sticks in the right places. They were throwing the body. They were doing everything right defensively. And their forwards were a big part of their defensive effort. So, Polkamp being Polkamp, absolutely killing it, our king. But, again, you need to watch the rest of the entire team because they're all contributing defensively. And that's what makes a good team. That's how you win games. And that's how you make up for whatever you're lacking defensively. And granted, Denver's not lacking defensively. They have the strongest defensive core in college hockey. Unbelievable. Also, I think we should take a little bit of a look at Boston Buckberger. Not only is that just a really fun name to say, even though he's missing part of his fingertip after last night, he is a really, really good defenseman. He's really good with quick plays, much like Polkamp. During warm-ups last night, they were actually practicing their one-timers with each other because they can absolutely rip it. And Buckberg's free agent, so maybe we should keep our eye on him a little bit. But obviously, we're all watching Eric Polkamp right now, and he's been amazing. And Denver has also been amazing. But with the Sharks, there's something I'm struggling to... I've been defending it for a while, but now I'm really struggling to, and that is our goaltending. I know our defense needs to be like Denver's. We really need to buckle down. We really need to be selling out like the way that they are. Like, they are doing absolutely everything they can. And honestly, we're past the point of a playoff push because Warsofsky has brought us to the point where we can't make it anymore. And there's just so much that needs to be changed with this team. And the goaltending, I've been trying to defend it, but now I can't anymore. There have been too many soft goals. And yes, we are leaving our goaltenders out to dry, but they need to be better. Now, a goaltender that, following theme, I really was incredibly impressed by is, of course, Denver's Johnny Hicks. This guy has not lost a game all year. All year. He has not lost a single game. He's got a .957 save percentage. Last night he saved, I think it was 47 shots. Oh my goodness, Johnny Hicks. How does no one have you in their system? Oh my gosh. I know we have Ravensburgen, who's really good, but maybe we should take a look at Johnny Hicks. And again, especially watch the way the team plays in front of him. Of course, he's been amazing, but part of that is also the fact he has a guy like Eric Polkamp in front of him, blocking shots, getting sticks in the right places. He has the whole team doing that, and that's why Denver is so successful. It's unbelievable. But while I have a little bit of time, there is another defenseman I've mentioned before, but I want to keep another eye out on and give him another shout. That's Ben Dexheimer, the captain of Wisconsin. Honestly, Cinderella story. Cannot believe Wisconsin's in the final. But a big part of why is Captain Ben Dexheimer. Now, if you want the definition of selling out for your team, that is Ben Dexheimer. This kid is incredibly loyal, stuck through it with Wisconsin during some hard times, and he's been rewarded for it for good reason. Sportsmanship award from the NCAA, and first Big Ten All-Star team. This kid is the real deal. He's so good. He's so smart, and anyone's lucky to have him on his team. Just wanted to give him a little bit of a shout out while we're talking about defense because he is really incredible and no one has the rights to him right now and he is a senior. So I want to know what you guys think. I'm hard pressed to believe I'm the only one who believes that Warsofsky really is a big problem for this team and part of why this team has just completely obliterated their chances of a playoff run because we're well past that now. Like, we went from like a 30% chance to about a 2% chance in a couple of days, and that's just not okay to me. So I'd love to know what you guys think. I'd love to know what you guys think about Denver and these other guys I've mentioned. I love talking to you guys in the comments. Don't forget to come back. Keep an eye out for the Hobie Baker announcement tonight and the Frozen 4 finale tomorrow, because it's sure more exciting than watching the Sharks play.